Hey guys, MuneyKei here. Um, Today we are going over Nyx's Prime, and she is a checklist of the three main things I at least look for whenever I am going for a character. That is good survivability, because she's invincible, um, good damage output, and armor stripping. And a fourth little one that could happen, if you're lucky, is, well, nuking. If you get the absorb all the way up. So, without further ado, we're going to go right over Nyx Prime. This is a zero forma build. But before we go over the build, we're going to her abilities. So, her passive is she gains a 40% crit chance on primary and secondary weapons per confused enemy with an affinity range up to 200%, which is pretty good. Her first ability is Mind Control. Basically, it will control enemies to fight for you, and yeah, it's pretty good. As you can see, I have a 95.1 second duration on it. Go over that in a second. Second bolt's pretty good. It armor strips, shield strips, and it can even steal overguard from enemies, which is very good. It helps with her survivability a lot, and also can help you take down enemies a lot quicker. Her third ability, I'm gonna probably helmet this out eventually. Basically, she will release a pulse, destroying the whole enemy in a wide radius, using them, and the confused foes will lash out at each other, basically, I believe. There's also Absorb, which is really good. Basically, it will make you not take any damage, and without any augments, you can't really do anything but absorb. And you are then enter a brief invulnerability state, and you gain a weapon damage boost proportional to the absorbed damage. So basically, she is very, very good, and it bases off ability strength on how much your converted damage goes into absorb. And yeah, uh, here's the builds for everything else quickly. The sword, as you can see, is this. Link down in the description for the build for this weapon. Vesper 77. This is the build I am working with right now. Not the best, but ain't the worst. The Nadaruk. Here it is. I'm still working on it. I just got to get heavy caliber upgraded one more time, and it will be perfect. And here's what you've been waiting for. Nyx Prime. We have corrosive projection for the enemies having less armor. We have equilibrium and flow for energy economy. Also have arcane energize for that. We have narrow-minded and molt efficiency for the duration, and streamline for efficiency. And we have transit fortitude for ability strength and a little bit less duration. Now then, you might be wondering why we didn't go for range too much. Well, that's because we're really going to be using the first, second, and fourth ability. Fourth ability, the explosion radius is from 6.9 to 50 meters, which honestly all you really need. Because I'm never gonna get rid of this fourth ability, like, deactivate it. Because, well, first off, Mind Freak, Mind Controlled Augment will control, the controlled target inflicts 1000 damage, and it will have a 25% movement and attack speed, which is really good. Pacifying Bolts, I throw an additional 3 bolts, so more armor stripping and health and shield stripping and overguard stealing. And enemies that are shocked or confused for 10 seconds, which is really good, if you remember our passive. And then the best mod I have seen in this game, probably, Simulate. Nyx can use weapons during absorb, and duration is infinite, but it consumes 6.5 energy per second, and the area of effect is halved. Now, you might be thinking, 6.5 energy per second, that's quite a bit, especially if you don't get a lot of energy quickly. Well, my friend, let me just say duration and efficiency will lower what a simulate will do. And the drain per second went down to 2.87. That doesn't even account for molt efficiency. Now, this build can be better with a maxed out equilibrium. or it could be maxed out with a Warframe adapter with Cunning Drift, so I could get a bit more range if I wanted it. Max out Arcane Energize, Molt Efficiency, like I said. Those were maxed out. Obviously, this build can be even better, but this is a zero form of build, and I love how it turned out so far. We're gonna get a bit of energy, so we can definitely do this. So,
life support has been cut off.
Basically, what we're gonna need to do is I'm gonna wait for the enemies to come near us a little. But right away, I am gonna press my fourth ability. Gonna armor strip the enemies. As you can see, we're doing red crits with a weapon that isn't supposed to be doing red crits right away. And we basically will have unlimited energy as long as we keep killing the enemies. Now, the one thing I will say is you gotta be careful of nullifiers. And you cannot bullet jump with the fourth ability active. But you don't really need a bullet jump all the time, and this is perfect for the survivability of Steel Tap. Anyways, I hope you all had a good New Year. I forgot to say in the last video.
Prepare for life support.
Yeah. Not to mention, my pet, the Panzerhupafila, that I call Panzer Shrek, is quite a good companion to have for this. I'll probably do a video covering the Panzerhupafila in another video.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Also, if you notice, we have not been using our first ability too much. That's for one reason. I've been wanting to get one of these guys. Basically, if I shoot my little mind control victim, he will also now do a little bit more damage. I'm not sure if that does not stack. I think it's when I first get him, but this is still quite a interesting character just because of how strong this character could be. Also, if you move too far away, the mind control victim will also follow you and teleport. So, you basically will have a perfect character for the game. He also doesn't do too little damage either. He actually does quite a bit of damage. Because of the first augment, obviously. And if you look at the top right, at that 494k, that's how much damage we have basically absorbed. And that's only 0.03% of the damage we were tanking. So we have technically tanked a lot more damage, and we would have been dead by now if I wasn't using abilities or just... So, yeah. I'll have to say it, because this character is just really good, and combining her with a weapon like the Nataru that could just destroy a whole group of enemies. And as you see, we have 90 seconds on this first ability too. So, it's not like we're gonna just not have anything. Also, because of our shield that we get, shield from our second ability, like we could take it from him. The one evolution for my melee weapon is Guardian Discipline, which gives me 90%, or 80% or something like that, heavy attack efficiency, which will also mean I can just do a lot of heavy attacks. And we are doing lots of red crits now. Now you might be wondering, how do you move quickly as Nyx Prime with the 4th ability?
I've delivered
Well,
another life support
there's
capsule.
one mechanic that not a lot of people use without a mod, and it's rolling. Without rolling guard, I don't really see a lot of people using it, but I feel like with Nyx doing this stuff, you're gonna need her to have that. Also, if you hold the first ability after you mind control someone, you will also basically take away their mind controlling.
Operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work.
Now, my question is, because I haven't really tested it completely, is how will I go up against an Acolyte? I don't think they can take away my 4th ability, and if they can, this might be just good for normal enemies. But if they can't take away my 4th ability, like it being activated, I should be good. Speaking of, here we go. We're gonna test it out. This guy's also gonna give us a lot of stuff. Well, it's not like we gotta test it, because I did just basically one-tap him with my sword, so... So we're at 3.31 million damage absorbed. Now, if we reactivate the 4th ability, it will basically nuke a bunch of enemies. But we're gonna head towards the end of the level right now.
Life support has been replenished.
Now, technically I should be disabling my 4th ability so I can run a bit further. But I do need to show off how slow you do move with the 4th ability active. But if you need to basically take out a whole survival or defense mission, just use Nyx. Or even interception. Like,
So be it.
a bunch of these, like, augment mods are so powerful. Matter of fact, let's quickly show you what happens when I deactivate the 4th ability. I did 15 million damage. So,
Your will was greater. This is
perfect
good.
example
You are running out
of a
time.
good
Consider
Warframe.
extraction.
Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I could have probably went further with this. Actually, I definitely could have, with how good Nyx is. So, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.